for the awesome introduction. It's just, I want to start off by just saying like how thankful I am and how cool it is to be here. There is a diamond-plated armadillo. I have no idea how I'm going to speak with that thing spinning right in front of my face. It's coming around. But I'm super thankful to be here. Canada, by the way, you guys have an amazing country up here. And the people are pretty cool too. So again, thanks for bringing me up here at Edmonton Market Council. It's been a blessing and a whirlwind of a trip through your beautiful country. But if you don't know who I am, I'm Caleb. I got popular, I guess. I feel like I'm like way over top of you guys. And I'm speaking from a graveyard. How about the venue, by the way? I got popular on my YouTube channel and Facebook, all these things, but I just kind of want to tell you a little bit about my story. I think our stories, I'm following in Sandra's footsteps here. She knocked it out of the park about how important you guys are and how, yes, we have a platform called Beachbody. Yes, we have amazing products that represent. Yes, Shakeology is life-changing, game-changer. And yes, the 21-day fix and all these different programs, but really the most important thing about this business is us. Like, if we don't take care of us, if we don't put us into the equation doesn't work. I mean, we are the most important thing of this business. And too often we're like, no, we don't want to say that. Humble, whatever. This isn't about like humble or humility or being so like proud of yourself. This is just recognizing the fact that we are the bridge, we are the vessel that can share such an amazing opportunity for so many people, right? Okay, we have so many great things to offer them, but if we don't actually do the work, we don't recognize that we have a story that can relate to so many people, we'll never relate to those people, and that connection will never happen, and people don't get helped, okay? And that's ultimately our goal, right? We want to help people. We want to help people live happily, healthy, and fulfilling lives. So I'm going to tell you my story, and then I'll kind of lead into our talk. So I got started with Beachbody. I love telling this story. I got started with Beachbody at Penn State University. I was a trumpet performance major, aka professional band nerd. I spent 5 years in music performance, getting a music performance. Funny story, I was on a plane to get here, and I told the lady next to me, and I was like, yeah, I was a trumpet performance major. She's Canadian, she was like, I was like, what? I played trumpet in college. She's like, we don't have that here. We would never let someone, you can actually do that? But that's what I did. I spent 5 years getting really good at trumpet, but I got really bad at taking care of myself personally. Like I let myself slide. And it was frustrating because I recognized it because I used to be a nationally ranked competitive swimmer when I was in middle school and high school. And it was this really terrible downward spiral feeling of like, wow, I'm feeling horrible. Wow, my back is getting thrown out. And every time I pick up my trumpets, like, wow, like really it was embarrassing. Who's ever gone through that downward spiral where you're like, you just kind of let yourself go and you're like, what's happening? But you just let it go and go and go. That was me. And it was super frustrating. And ironically, there was one night I was laying on my bed in my apartment, super lonely. When I was in college, it was Thursday night, so it was $7 Papa John's pizza night. And there's a Papa John's conveniently placed right across the street from my home. And I walked over, I got my pizza with the amazing garlic dipping butter sauce, and I was laying on my bed, eating pizza, watching YouTube videos. How funny, right? I was killing my time. And this advertisement popped up for P90X, the most extreme program you've ever done in your life. And this guy, who recognizes the name Wayne White? Anyone? Yeah, a couple hands. He was top coach 2012 and 13, I think. Yeah, 12 and 13, and he gets on this infomercial and he's like, P90X was the hardest thing I've ever done. My eyeballs fell off, or fell out, my arms fell off, like my legs had to get so back on, but I got chiseled and ripped and wow! And he flexes for the camera and like lightning bolts shoot out of his abs. He went from like fluffy dad to like Zeus. And it was amazing. And he's like, basically telling the camera, was like, don't ever do this program because it's so hard. Reverse psychology. I was like, I want to do it. Sign me up. How do I get that program? So I went on Craigslist and bought the burp DVDs. Who's ever had that happen to them? Okay, you're like working, put your hands up, there's more people than that, come on. You're like talking to someone, you're like, oh, you'd be so good at this program, it would help you so much, the 21-day fix, portion control, oh, the 30 minutes is the best program ever, it's only 3 weeks long. And you're like, okay, and then they come back the next day, they're like, I'm ready, I got my product. And you're like, no. That was me. Okay, so this is your first point of encouragement. Don't give up on those people. Because if I had a coach at that time, chances are good that they would have been really frustrated with me, okay? Don't get frustrated with those people. Don't be hard on those people. I understand that not everybody understands how Beachbody works. They don't understand how Team Beachbody works and how we represent products. It's our job to educate them and to teach them that that's how this works, okay? And try and catch that before it happens, because when you're assigned to a coach, you get so much more support. Health, nutrition, fitness, support, it all works together. So make sure they get that whole package at the front. But I got the Burp CDs off the price list, and this is a funny part of my story. I actually met this guy at a gas station to make the exchange, right? And we pull up to the gas station, and it's cold, it's November, cold. You guys are like crazy up here. You guys have to plug your cars in to keep it warm. It's crazy. I've never heard of that. Anyway, so we meet in this gas station parking lot, and I see him from across the parking lot. He's wearing a hoodie with the hoodie up, so it's all very sketchy. And we kind of walk towards each other, scoping each other out, making sure there's not a knife behind his back or something. And we didn't know how to do this. He'd obviously never done it before. And he goes, you have the money? And I'm like, you have the DVDs? He's like, and we did this awkward exchange thing where he handed me the DVDs and I handed him the money, but we didn't let go of what we had. This awkward exchange, and then we got what we wanted, and we just turned around walked away really fast because we were afraid we were gonna get mugged or something. And that's how I got started with P90X. And over the next 90 days, I didn't miss a workout. I changed my nutrition and got phenomenal results. And eventually signed up with a coach for free membership because he was offering a free Shakeology sample. He's like, give me your email and I'll be your coach. And I was like, okay, I have no idea what that means, but give me my free samples. I'm a broke college student. And that's how I got my coach. And he saw my results. He's like, you have to be a coach. And I was like, no. And that's how our conversation was for not just the first week that he invited me, or the second week, or the third week, or the second month, or the 6th month, or the first year, or the first year and a half, or the second year, or the third year. It took him 3 years to finally get through my thick skull that I needed Beachbody in my life. Because the whole time I was like, no, I don't want to be a part of your slimy sales scheme. I don't want to be a part of your dumb pyramid scheme. It's just going to fall apart anyway because it's illegal. It's so bad. I'm a Christian and I have morals. I can't be a part of that, okay? And I was honestly so stupid, and I was so set in my mind that it was a bad thing. They had really great products, but the opportunity was really bad, and I just wasn't even in the right headspace to even think about it. Who's ever experienced that? Who's ever seen someone go through a program, whatever, they got illegally, and then they got amazing products, or amazing results, and they're out there on their Facebook or their Instagram or their Twitter, look at these results, they're so good, everybody needs to get this program, oh my gosh, and everyone's like, I'm getting it, I just got it, look, let's do this together, and they're like, okay, let's get in the Facebook group together, and we can work together, and I'll help you through it, and have you started Shakeology yet? It's life-changing, and you're like, you're an idiot, you're a coach, and you're not signed up yet, what is wrong with you? Well, that was me, okay? I was helping tons of people, and it wasn't until the 3rd year that I was rock bottom. I had gone through, I graduated college with a band nerd degree and didn't want to use that. And I started pursuing the military. I was going to be a pilot in the military. I got my civilian pilot's license, and that kind of fell through. And then I went to the state police. Figured, well, okay, if I'm not, doing that, I'll be a state police officer in Pennsylvania. And that fell through. I actually failed the polygraph test. I'll be completely open with you guys. I made it through a year of processing for the state police. And I got in this room, they hooked up these things and sweat things. By the way, my hands are really sweaty, you see that? And they hooked me up with this thing, and he's asking me all these questions, and I'm like, no. And I wasn't lying, and apparently I was lying. I got this letter in the mail where unfortunately you did not pass. Fabricating lies on the polygraph test, you are not eligible for the state police for 2 years. And I'm like, great, I guess I'll just do nothing with my life since nothing's working out. So I just did what was like closest to me. I went down the street, got a job at the restaurant, waited tables, bus tables, was a host. And it was a job, it made ends meet, but it wasn't what I was called to do. I knew that in my heart. And, that job was the perfect kind of stress for me, as in, it was the perfect kind of stress that just wrecked me. Who's ever served or worked in a restaurant? Yeah, the service industry. Like giving me chills just even thinking about it. But that job just destroyed me, and I was there for a couple months, over a year actually, and I just had to do something different. And the whole time, this Beachbody thing was right there. I was like, fine, I'll do this. I still think it's an illegal pyramid scheme, but I'll sign up because I'm desperate. I don't even care where my money comes from. Just like, give it to me and I'll do this. And so that's how I signed up. I literally signed up into this opportunity thinking it was the worst thing in the world. Like, I don't even care. Like, I'm so rock bottom right now. Like, just give me a way to make money. And that's how I started. And then I realized as soon as I started, holy crap! Like, this thing is awesome. This is the coolest opportunity ever. And I can suddenly go back to just being myself. I don't have to be somebody else. I can just kind of own who I am and be who I am unapologetically and wrap this business around me and not like try to fit standards that that they put together. Like, they allow us. We're independent Team Beachbody coaches. We can be what we want to be and attract people to us because of that. How beautiful is that? Like, we don't, there's so many people out there that have never, ever experienced something that cool. I mean, seriously. And that's what I realized right when I signed up. And so the point, I'm going to put my notes out. I always do this. I make notes, but then I never look at them. So I talk about something totally different. So as soon as I signed up, I realized that, hey, I can actually just talk about me, I can be myself, and I feel very blessed that I realized that kind of early on in the business. It was slow for me to get started. It took about 6 months to really get my feet under me. Who's having a slow start to the business? Yeah. Welcome to Team Beachbody. You're normal. You're gonna be great. It just takes a while to start off. It's like any other business, you have to fight through that beginning startup phase. Do not give up. Okay, sort of. So I just want to basically tell you guys, you have everything you need to be rock star successful as a Beachbody coach. Okay, you weren't just born and then poof, you're in an Edmonton Super Sunday. You're like, wow, how'd that happen? I don't know what to talk about. No, there's a period of time that happened when you were born all the way to, let's see a Beachbody coach, and I'm in Edmonton at the Beachbody Super Sunday. There's things that happen in there. There's struggles, there's good things, there's bad things, and everything that is in that period of time is something that you can share. And I want to challenge you guys to think about not so much the perfect, beautiful things that you think everybody wants to hear about. It's so easy, especially who's growing their business on social media? Yeah, pretty much everyone. And if you're not on social media, it is 2015. You guys realize that. But it's so easy on social media to just put out what you want to put out things that you think people are gonna be like, oh, wow, and not put anything vulnerable out there. I'm gonna challenge you guys to be really vulnerable with your audiences. Something that was really hard for me to share, I actually just shared on my social media this morning. Last night, was treated to an amazing dinner at the Melting Pot. It was my first experience at the Melting Pot. Who's ever been there? Melting Pot? Yeah, phenomenal. Taste buds are dancing off your tongue. It was amazing. It was the fanciest meal I've ever had in my life, and I am incredibly blessed to have that experience. But for me, it comes from the stark contrast of having to literally sell my blood plasma at a clinic to buy ramen noodles. What do you call them here? Ramen? Noodles. To literally buy a week's worth of noodles to eat. So, that's really hard for me to admit. I was so lazy and I was so stupid with my spending habits, and I was so my priorities were so screwed up. I was literally like, I have no other options. I guess I'll just stick a needle in my arm and donate blood plasma so I can make $40 a week so I can feed myself. Like, that's where I was. And going to the melting pot last night was just like kind of like wow, this opportunity has brought so much amazing experience in my life. And then, what's the other one? Another vulnerable thing. So everyone sees my dog, right? Everyone knows Sheila. Everyone knows Sheila. She's a wine runner. She's super energetic, super big character in my life. I bought her. Everyone's like, oh, she's such a great dog, and you guys are like best friends. And the truth is, like, yeah, we are. And I bought her because I was terribly lonely. Like, that's the reality of why she was a part of my life, and why I'm always sharing her. Because she's a huge part of my story. Like, when I bought her, I was like desperately lonely, and all the women are like, it's good. But it's true. And but we're gonna, okay, so that's some funny stuff, but I wanna take a serious moment with you guys. I'm gonna challenge you right now to do something that's gonna put you probably way out of your comfort zone, okay? When we're talking about sharing stuff on social media, when we're talking about relating to people with your story, think about the things that you wouldn't want to share. Seriously. Like, think about something that, if I told you to come up on the stage right now and, like, tell it, you'd be like, no, I don't want to do that. When you do that, though, when you make yourself vulnerable, this crazy human instinct thing happens where suddenly you feel compassion. You feel like connection to someone because you see them in a vulnerable state and you feel very connected to that person, okay? So let's do something here right now. Put your hand up. I'm going to challenge you to put your hand up and be bold, okay? We're going to be like family right now. Put your hand up if you've ever... put your hand up if you've ever struggled with depression. Okay? Put your hand up if you've ever struggled with your weight. Put your hand up if you've ever struggled through relationship issues, divorces, or separations, or something like that. Okay? Put your hands up if you've ever had a weight or a eating disorder. Put your hand up if you've ever. Okay, you guys get the idea. Like, did you sit next to someone just now that put their hand up and you're like, oh man, dang. You kind of like nudge them and you're like, it's okay. I'm right here. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what. Yeah, look at the hugs. We're like family now. We're like the closest people in Edmonton right now, okay? But that's what happens when you get. It's like legit zombies in here. You guys see that? That's what happens when you put yourself out there and you get super vulnerable. Like, when I put myself out there, I finally got over and like told people honestly, like, this is so hard for me to share. And I know it doesn't mean a lot to some people, but to me it's big. I had to actually donate my blood plasma to buy my groceries when I was in college. Like, people were reaching out in my inbox, they were like, it's okay, I've been there, like, it's cool. And we had these connections. So if you want to connect to more people, like, you want to make genuine connections to more people as Beachbody coaches, which is what we do. The coach that talks to the most people is the most successful coach, right? If you want to connect to more people on a much deeper level, put yourself out there. Be bold. Be confident in what you have to offer, okay? Looking at my notes, put your hands up if you ever... Something works. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. So, basically, there's a lot of people that, they're like, well, I didn't put my hand up. There was nothing there that, I have a good life, you know, like, there's nothing that really stuck out. Or maybe you did put your hand up and you're like, I don't think that's that significant because look at how many other people put their hands up. Like, they've already taken that brand, they've already established themselves in that market. Like, they've already taken all those people that they can relate to because of, you know, this issue or that issue or this issue. It's not so much one specific thing. Like, too many people sign up to Beachbody and they're like, what's that one thing, that one gem that I can start sharing or discover in my life that's gonna make me just like, and everyone's gonna be attracted to me because of that one amazing thing. I wanna bust that myth, okay? Who's ever seen me do the walk analogy? Yeah, so like 1 or 2 people? Awesome, cool. So this is just a regular padlock, okay? Just a regular padlock, and you've all seen this before. It's got dials on it, there's 4 dials on this one, and the dials have numbers on them. And the numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then back to 0. And they all have the same numbers on them, and you know how this works. You put the numbers in the correct line, and the lock unlocks, right? Here's what people do though. They look at the padlock and they look for some like special number. They're like, if I just had number Zorf, my lock would unlock. Man, if I just had that number that that person over there has that I've never heard of, like, man, things would just work out so much better. And they like look at their combination and like, I just don't have, like, number 7 is single parent, like number 4 is dog owner, number 5 is something else. It's like, oh, I've heard all that before. Like, that's not gonna work. But that's not how these combinations work. Do you understand that regardless of how non-exciting each individual dial is, or each individual characteristic on those dials is, when you put it all together in your own beautiful, amazing combination, suddenly your lock unlocks. Does that make sense to everyone? Like, it's not necessarily like one specific thing that just establishes your brand and then you can be a successful Beachbody coach because of that. It's everything. All of your beautiful cells, like thrown together into a pot, stewed up, and then spoon-fed to the world as your brand, which makes you amazing. And there's over like 7 billion people in this world, and even if you don't believe this, even if you're like struggling with this, like, well, only 5 things that make me me and they're all boring on their own. Here's the thing, there's so many people in this world that if you unapologetically put yourself out there every single day, over and over and over and over again, you're gonna find people out there, they're gonna be attracted to your brand because they relate exactly to you. They're like, wow, I'm a single mom. Wow, I like hair products. Wow, I have a dog. Wow, I appreciate underwater basket weaving. Wow, like all these different things, and they're like, man, I think I can connect with you. And here's the thing: the more vulnerable you make those dials, the more vulnerable you put yourself out there on all those different those numbers, the more people are going to dig you. Okay? Does that make sense? Everyone gets that? Cool. Cool. You guys awesome. Okay, so just a couple tips here when you're thinking about your brand from now on. I mean, that's kind of like our little training session here. I just want to encourage you guys to be confident. You know, be confident in what you have to offer, even if it doesn't seem exciting. Like Sylvester Stallone. Who knows the story of Sylvester Stallone and how he got big? Yeah, this is really cool. So if you don't know, basically Sylvester Stallone, who's ever seen Rocky? Yeah, so when he wrote up that movie, he was basically homeless. He had no money. He was broke as a joke and literally had to sell his dog, to make a living. Like, he had to sell his best friend to a new owner so he could feed himself. Like, I thought donating blood plasma was bad, he sold his best friend to make some food, okay? And he had this movie script that he believed so strongly. It's like, this movie is gonna go big, and he could picture it when it was on the big Hollywood screen, and he walked around all these producers like, I had this great movie, and nobody wanted it. He's like, everyone was like, you have no credibility, like, you live on the streets, you just sold your dog, like, no, we're not gonna take your story. And he was so confident in what he had to offer, and he was so consistent in putting it out there, that finally someone was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. They read through it, and they were like, this is a masterpiece. And it quickly became one of the most well-known movie series in the history of Hollywood, okay? It's because he was confident in what he had to offer, and he was consistent in what he had to offer, regardless of where he was starting from, okay? Regardless of what his current circumstances are. So whatever your circumstances are now, who cares? Be so consistent and confident what you have to offer that you will go around and you will tell everyone what you have. You'll tell everyone your story. Like, check out this amazing movie. Check out these amazing products. Check out these challenge groups. Check out this Shakeology. It is so good. And eventually you're going to find your people. Okay? Just because someone turns you down that first time doesn't mean you're a bad coach. Welcome to the club. I get turned down probably more than most people in this room, honestly. Okay? I get turned down so many times. But like Carl Deichler said, like, the most successful coaches, the reason they're the most successful coaches, and I'm not saying I'm the most, I'm not, I'm a one-star diamond after 2.5 years, but honestly, the reason those coaches get to the top is because they accept more rejections. They've gone from more no's. Who's ever read the book Go For No? Yeah, read that book. It's like $5 on Amazon. Anyway, okay. Next, I like telling stories. The next story is Steve Jobs. Who's ever heard of Steve Jobs? Apple. Who has an Apple product right now? Who's filming me on an Apple product right now? Yeah, so Steve Jobs, when the iPod came out, he had this new revolutionary device and thought it was going to be the best thing that ever happened in the world of technology. He had so much belief and so much passion for what he was doing, and he was so excited when he came up with this awesome idea. And it's like kind of like a new coach. You guys sign up and you're like, I'm so excited! This is going to be amazing! You have so many people on my team, and then you go out and it's like it fails miserably. It fails miserably. Yeah, when he dropped the iPod into the marketplace, he was expecting to sell millions of these things, and he sold like 200,000 or 300,000 of them. Biggest flop ever for the company, okay? But he was so confident in where he was going with this product, and he knew so many people would eventually come around and get it, and he didn't give up. Second year, major flop, huge flop. Company started actually losing money, okay? Tech giant Apple. Third year, major flop. The company was going way down because he was pouring so much into this iPod product. Finally, fourth month, because he was confident, he was consistent, and he had a vision for where he was going with it, it blew up. And now everybody in this room has been influenced in some way or another by an Apple product because of it, okay? Imagine the ripple effect you could start if you just take your mind off of like I'm gonna sign up as a Beachbody coach and be immediately successful. Think of how many people you could influence, not this year, maybe not next year, maybe not the third year, but in 10 years of Beachbody coaching. Do you understand how much exponential growth you can go through and how many lives you can touch just by staying consistent with what you believe you're going to achieve? What you believe is your vision. If you continue to pursue that unapologetically, and you put your brand out there over and over and over and over, just keep your eyes focused on that vision and help as many people along the way as you're going there, you can literally change the world. Same deal, Steve Jobs did. And I skipped over this one, but it's kind of like a YouTube channel. You know, everyone's like, wow, YouTube channel, you must have made one video and it went viral. It's like, actually, no, when I first started making videos, I knew I had something off, I knew I had a message, but I post it, and I put tons of work into it, and I get 5 views, and like 4 of them were my mom. Seriously, she was like downstairs like, so good. And then the 5th view was me watching how bad I was. But I knew I had messages to put out there. I knew I had passion I could share with you guys. And just over 2.5 years of doing that, it's what it is. It was over a million, almost 1.5 million views. That's a lot of people being influenced, and it's not because of some magical moment that suddenly everyone was influenced. It was just steady, consistent work over long periods of time. So I just want to challenge you to think that way. Get over the microwave mentality of like, I'm going to put my food in the microwave, and it's going to be done, and it's going to be awesome, like in 30 seconds. And I'm going to be so satisfied with how amazing it is, and start thinking about the crock pot mentality. I think you guys have heard that analogy before. Like a crock pot, you put your food in the crock pot, and you turn it on low, and you're like, it's gonna be good. And then you walk around your house for like the whole day, and it smells so good in there. It's like, every time you walk by, you're like, oh, it's so good. Just one little piece, but it's not ready. And you gotta like walk away, and then you come back and you're like, I'm so hungry. And that's exactly like this business, right? You have a vision for where you're going, you know what you can accomplish through it. But it takes a long time, okay? But when you finally take that lid off the crock pot and like the steam comes up, like, and then you can put your face in it and eat, it's amazing. It's amazing, okay? Unless you're like me, and then it comes out like a big burnt elephant turd because I had to turn it too high. Anyway, that's another story. But I want to close just with one of my favorite scripture, just to encourage you guys. This is a promise from Matthew. And I think it's the coolest thing. I just gotta say, I'm in like a nightclub with an armadillo, sharing scripture. I'm gonna go ride the bull a little bit later. But anyway, I'm not up here to like force my Christianity down your throat or any of that. But I just want to encourage you. I want you guys to leave encouraged. And this is a promise that I'm always encouraged by. Where we go? This is Matthew 5:13-15. You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. You're like a city on a hilltop that can't be hidden. Would anybody light a lamp and then put it under a basket? Like, stupid, right? No, they'd let it shine. They'd place it up on a stand where it spreads its light everywhere. That's like us. We're coaches. We need to like shine, okay? Lindsay Matway did this whole thing last year at Summit where she's like, just people, go and shine. Like, realize that you are beautiful. Realize that you have the perfect combination. Realize that You have all the gifts and talents and blessings and experiences to share with the world that's going to make you absolutely incredible. Every single person in this room. Okay? Be confident in that. And it goes on to say, in the same way, let your life shine for everyone. Let everyone see the good things you're doing, and then everybody will praise your Heavenly Father. Seriously, people, you are beautiful. You are beautiful. When I look out in this audience, it's like, man, there's a lot of really amazing people out here. Man, can you imagine where you'll be in just a couple of years? Seriously? Can you imagine? Even cooler, maybe you haven't realized this part of the journey yet, but even cooler, can you imagine how many, gonna get emotional. You gotta knock my food. Can you imagine how many people this room is gonna influence someday? It's this opportunity isn't just about making money. It's not just about, getting a big house or getting a car or whatever. It really is about helping people. And when you guys remember that you guys are the perfect vessels to do that, you can change the world. You can change so many people's lives. That's a beautiful thing. So, just know, thank you. That's all I have for you guys. Just know I'm praying for you, and I'm super encouraged to see you guys here at Edmonton Super Sunday, and that you're making the investment in your businesses, and just know that you guys, you're sitting on an absolute gold mine of just helping change the world. Like, you guys can be the light that this world needs. You guys can be that beginning of a ripple effect. I mean, there's so much negativity that we're surrounded by every single day, but you guys can be that light. You guys can be that salt of the earth and do amazing, amazing things. So, thank you.